When you arrive in Newcastle, the place where Gino and I met in 1978, you'll dock in Tynemouth. It's where King Oswine of the North was buried when he died in 651. But there's no point looking for his remains. They were moved to St Albans.
Just 5 minutes walk from where the bus drops you off, you can walk down to the sea, and it is the most beautiful coastline. Shields, Tynemouth and Whitley Bay all have the most amazing beaches. If only we had the weather.
Choices. You could stay on the coast and enjoy the beaches.
Tynemouth Priory and Castle is a 13th century priory and fortress.
Choices. Go into Newcastle and see the city, or 30 minutes away, the lovely little Northumbrian town of Corbridge has wonderful Roman remains.
The shuttle bus from the ship brings you to the metro, and now we're going to get the metro into Newcastle.
I wouldn't suggest Lindisfarne because the journey's not easy and it's going to take you some time, but if you're adventurous, go for it. If you want to save some time, step over the bridge and buy your tickets on the other platform.
The price of the ticket varies according to how many zones you cross. As of 2023, you can't just tap and go. You've got to buy a ticket, and there's only 2 machines. Monument?
Sure, the monument, yeah, and you're coming back as well?
Yeah. Our chosen station of disembarkation on the metro is Monument, where there's a statue of Earl Grey, a local politician who became Prime Minister from 1830 to 1834. He stands on the top of a 134-foot column. The Romans built the first bridge over the River Tyne in the mid-2nd century and gave it the family name of the Emperor Hadrian, Aelius, Bridge of Aelius or Pons Aelius. We're at the famous River Tyne. There's no fog on it today, and behind me is the swing bridge. And the reason they call it the swing bridge is because it swings round on its central fulcrum. They do like a bridge in the northeast of England. The fish market is now called the Riverside, and it's a live music venue. Sean the sheep is working very hard here to raise funds for St Oswald Hospice.
A lot of these old classic buildings will remind you of the shipping industry, and you'll find the odd sign that still relates to a business of a bygone past. Let's head up to the cathedral. That's not it, but it is the right way. Please, if you can, read the first of our thrillers, Cruise Ship Heist, and review it on Amazon. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Entrance to the castle is £9.95 for an adult, with £1 off if you're a senior over 65 and £6.65 for children. The new castle, which gave the town its name, is a Grade 1 listed building and was founded in 1080 by the eldest son of William the Conqueror. Between 1172 and 1177, the stone castle keep was built, replacing the earlier wooden fortifications. The Black Gate, part of a barbican, a great outer gateway to the castle, was built between 1247 and 1250. In the 13th and 14th centuries, the town walls were built to defend the wider settlement. Standing in the grounds of the castle in Newcastle, behind me, you can see the Lantern Tower in St Nicholas's Cathedral, and it was originally named for the lamp that burned inside it, which would guide the ships on the River Tyne. Hadrian's Wall, which started in Wall's End, runs just north of these two structures. But let's discover something wonderful that's happening here now in Newcastle. We have to use the other door. I was lucky enough to meet up with Fiona Sample, who is the CEO of the Oswin project. For a great cake and coffee shop, you'll go a long way to find one better than the one inside St Nicholas's Cathedral. What a find, and the Wi-Fi is really fast. The cake shop is one of the key centres of the Oswin project, which is supported by this beautiful cathedral built in 1350 after the previous church was burned down in 1216. It was given cathedral status in 1882, then known as St Nicholas's, who is the patron saint of sailors and boats. They didn't have cruise ships back then. The tower contains 14 bells, and the church houses a marble monument to locally born Admiral Lord Collingwood, who took over command at the Battle of Trafalgar after the death of Admiral Lord Nelson. In 2023, it houses a modern-day hub for the Northumbrian people.
My name's Fiona Sample, and I have the privilege to be the CEO of the Oswin project. People would say, why Oswin? According to the Venerable Bede, Oswin, who was briefly King of Northumbria, spoke to Prince and Pauper in the same manner, and above all things like justice. So we thought for a charity that works with prisoners and prison leavers, that was spot on.
Fantastic. And so it's the prisoners that make the cakes and the produce that is here?
Absolutely, all the produce here. So you can eat as much as you like because it's completely guilt-free, because you are transforming lives by doing so.
I think it's just amazing, and I can vouch for the fact that the cakes are delicious.
Where are they baked?
In the prison, in HMP Northumberland. We have a bakery and a cafe there, a farm shop just outside, and we run the horticulture there as well. So, for instance, there are lots of there's a toffee apple muffin, and that has been used the apples from the orchard.
Fantastic.
We don't grow toffees yet, though.
And do they get to work here as well?
Yes, they do. Absolutely. They graduate from the prison to here, and then we have growing relationships with other catering organisations. In an ideal world, they go through to that. But we also have a inside and out team, as we call them, who do refurbishments and a lot of work with heritage stone walls. And so people who go from the gardens can go and work in that. So it's a sort of, it's the bridge of opportunity. People are doing good things in some prisons, people are doing good things outside, but people often fell by the wayside on the transition between being inside and outside.
Yeah.
And while I recognise that, yes, there are some people who need to be locked up, there are a percentage who are there because they have addiction problems and that should be being treated. And then our cohort, who are mainly people who've had a complete moment of madness or have had no chance in life at all, no upbringing of any sort. So we give them possibly the first opportunities they've ever had.
Fantastic. Really fantastic. Thank you.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. So that's Newcastle from Doris Visits. The choice of a city, Roman ruins, or the beach. Thanks for joining us. Please, if you can, read the first of our thrillers, Cruise Ship Heist, and review it on Amazon. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
If you've got a bit of time after you leave Edinburgh, Queensferry is well worth a look. It's got very quaint little cobbled streets, an oldie-worldy feel, plenty of pavement cafes, lots of drinking establishments, a great view of the Forth Bridge, and a lovely harbour.